GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
So, Fat Man.
So sleazy.
It's not even Halloween, but we have to review a Halloween show?
Yeah, well, your camera's off, so you must have broken the camera from your scary Halloween costume.
I mean, I have a face made for radio, so.
That is 100% true.
What are we going to do with you? But anyway, we got to go through Halloween Havoc in 2022 on The Wrestling Show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
Welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. So, on today's show, we have the man who enjoys life in Newfoundland, but can't figure out how to use his internet. It's Ryan Williams.
Hi, y'all. And fuck you, Sleazy. I just feel like I had to start the podcast off early with I hope you step on the Lego.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Also, on the other side, you could probably see him if you're watching us live on Twitch. It is the gentleman who has more A's in his name than anyone else on the show. It is Chip Willett.
More A's I ever had on a report card as well.
Ooh.
School was not a good time for me. School was not a good time.
Miss the joke. There's more A's in his name than there is in Canada.
A.
Come on.
I can't count.
The shit
No,
books
Sleazy, that's
itself.
a really good joke. You could have said he has more A's in his name than the other Canadians. It would have been great. You dropped the fucking ball. Your stint in rehab for your hermaphroditic agent porn has clearly changed.
I mean, I don't even have a camera right now. So
Yeah, I was about to say, there's been a lot of changes.
things have changed over here, okay?
With New Jersey, all hell goes to shit.
I mean, Fat Man took a huge New Jersey before he came on the show.
Yeah, I did. It was a Hoboken for sure.
And before we continue, I just want to say this out there, and I know we probably will talk about it later. I think we talked about it a little bit on last week's show. Is Kevin Nash's son Tristan died? He had a seizure, I believe it was, and I just want to first of all say condolences to obviously Kevin and his family, and everyone here at the Wrestling Show. I believe I speak for everyone here in hoping better days ahead for him and his family.
Yep.
I feel like
Mark that off the news and rumors.
well, what I'll do is I'll bring us up on a better note and announce that once again, Ryan is the WWE scorecard champion.
How about this? Go fuck yourself, Ryan.
Oh, listen, I had to throw it in now early just because Halloween Havoc. Oh, I thought it was a really good show for what I watched, and it just made it better that I regained my fucking WWE title. So suck it, jump.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I got 0 because I apparently didn't press save.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. The techie don't know how to press the save button.
Right?
The hell, that's what screwed me in the PWC show.
It's terrible. I hate it. Fuck this game.
Anybody watch the pre-show?
No, who the fuck watches the pre-show?
I actually,
Yeah.
but I don't remember what match it was.
Fuck all of you.
All right, so Halloween Havoc starts out with the ladder match for vacant NXT North American Championship. Carmella Hayes.
If vacant isn't named the 2022 Wrestler of the Year this year, then we don't do proper on our journalism.
I mean, trios, AEW,
Well, look how many times he's lost it.
Yeah. How many times has Ric Flair lost his world championship?
See? Exactly.
Hold on now. So if I'm thinking this correctly, Bacon has held all of the AEW titles except the All Atlantic title.
Give it a few weeks.
So, yeah, I was going to say, you're still young, sir.
Carmelo Hayes versus, I think I'm pronouncing his first name right. Oro?
I thought you were going to say Nathan.
It's Oro.
Von Wagner, Wesley, and Nathan Frazier. 19 minutes, 17 seconds. Can't give this 4 1/4. Chip.
When I saw this match, I'm like, this is going to be a fucking fire ass pay per view or premium live event. Sorry, let me go ahead and redact that. I thought it was going to be off the charts, and this match is great. Don't get me wrong. Nathan Frazier, like Kim was asking, she's like, why don't they actually try to climb the ladder and use like speed to do it, like Nathan Frazier was? Nathan Frazier was on fire the whole time. He's going to be one to watch in the future, but I'd say about 4 stars. I'm going to be very critical on the show. I even watched it again today.
How the fuck do you give a match 4 stars if you're going to be critical? You fucking match.
Of the show. You fucking Canuck, go eat some ice. Make sure it's yellow.
Wow.
Whoa.
Chip is on a roll.
Holy fuck. He's calling man by his nickname one goddamn time. He's going to marry me and divorce me.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Wow.
Anyways, it was a good match. I thought it was very high impact. A lot of those spots I didn't see working out the way they did. Wesley and Nathan Frazier looked like they did lines of cocaine before they came out because they were on fire and flying the whole damn time.
Hold on. Tony Khan does not run NXT. Okay.
he may have had a connection. I don't know. But nope, good match. 4 stars.
All right, because you're an underrated piece of shit.
Underrated shit at 4 stars.
4.5. This match was awesome. That Spanish
Why
fly,
was it missing?
your face. That Spanish fly off the ladder was sick. Mensa's lucky to be alive after taking that spot. He jumped too early when they tried to trip the ladder over, and he's lucky he didn't die. And same with Robbie E or Rob Stone, because he jumped too early on that spot too. When he did it, Wagner throwing Wesley from the ring onto the announce table was crazy.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, 4.5 stars. Wesley winning was the right call.
Kid.
Yep.
Here, sorry your buddy cracked a Hitler joke. This crazy bitch, but ex-boy decided to get mad and share it online. Here's a single foot. Tell me I'm wrong.
Wow.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's the problem.
Wow.
I say the worst shit possible, and when I follow it up with "Tell me I'm wrong," everybody's like, "Oh, well."
I mean, you're technically correct, and it is the best kind of correct. Right down to the star rating, I agree with everything Fat Man just said. The only thing that I will bring up to add to it is the fact that the announcer table didn't break. It's a Japanese announcer table.
It should have just flipped then.
They pixelate it after the fact. I'm done.
Okay, Jesus Christ. All right, Ryan.
I thought this was a perfect little opener to the fucking show. I did see some reports online, reading up on it about how it was like there was no real feud going into this match, but that's what made this match perfect. There was 5 guys that you don't normally see in a big line, or 4 guys that you won't normally see in a big line, like, and Carmelo Hayes, who's fucking money. If that guy was 6 inches taller, he would be in 16. I think everything flowed off right. I really do like that Wesley one outside of the haha Hitler joke. But like he was the right kid at the right time. Nathan Frazier's too new. Von Wagner looks better in the main event scene than he would the mid card scene, I'll call it. So I think everything that they had and everything that set up just went off without a hit.
All right. Casket match? Grayson
Then the wheel
Waller.
makes the deal, man.
Yep. Grayson Waller versus Apollo Crews, 12 minutes and 58 seconds. Cat gave this 3 stars. Sleazy, you're the Undertaker, Mark.
Yeah,
wait.
I mean, of course I'm going to love something like this, even without the Undertaker.
Only the fourth time.
I'll say,
Gross casket spot.
yeah. The only thing that would have been worse would have been if one of these guys, hurt their back and then lost their smile 6 months from now. But I think.
Sorry, I had to unmute you to make sure you heard my laugh.
Had to get it in. I think they did a good job for what it was. I don't want to say it's the best casket match I've ever seen. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the best casket match not featuring the Undertaker that I've seen. And it was 3.5 stars.
Wow.
You overrating piece of shit.
Yeah, well.
It was an okay match for a house show. Didn't understand breaking the first casket. It was a cool spot, but
That's why. It was a cool spot.
then all of a sudden now Apollo Crews has druids to summon a second
Have
casket.
you been watching NXT?
How dare you?
Actually, I have not been watching NXT.
So if
Don't
you
even watch the fucking. No. Let me get on this one. That motherfucker has spent the last fucking year screaming at me about if I only watch the product. Fuck you. Give me all the fucking druids.
Sleazy, when's the last time you watched an NXT Weekly?
At least 6 months ago.
Okay. It's been 2 for me, so.
Anyway, Ryan, what were you trying to explain? I didn't see. I watched the Go Home show and I didn't see anything with the druids.
basically Cruz come back with this whole he can see into the future and predict stuff like the psycho kind of mind analysis shit. So like even when he's blinded, and it all came from him getting blinded by Grace Waller, but poking the eye.
So
Cruz
again,
poked- they've been going back and forth about it and stuff. So it's kind of new kind of character that Cruz got. Not fully cult like, but the availability to have these people there, and psychos, analysis shit.
You want him to say, and it's going to make any sense, that's dumb.
Coming out, we watched professional wrestling, sir. I'll always go back to The Undertaker was Sunday Wizard, and we didn't care.
That's dumb. Yeah, but other side of that being a cool spot, there was really nothing much else to it, I thought. So it was okay.
To me, it was like the match would have been better. I'm really calling Grace Waller, and I do appreciate Apollo Crews. And they've given them TV time. They've given them storyline time. Just like, it's a good thing you guys got to put to the dead match spot on the card, just because where it didn't really pay off like you wanted to, and it didn't. And I think coming after the ladder match, first this match too, because the ladder match is so.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sleep or Chip.
I agree with that, man. Doesn't happen normally. 2.5 stars. I enjoyed the commentary of Vic and Booker T almost more than I enjoyed the match. I liked the throwing him through the casket part. Like Batman, I was really confused by the whole druid thing coming out. It makes sense now because he did poke his eye out, and it kind of gives him like a third eye, more like an intuition into the future. I know what you're saying. But yeah, a perfect spot for that type match. I mean, don't usually see a gimmick match or a casket match as a cooler match, but it worked out. So,
I think you kind of had to use it as a cooler match because nobody here cared. I don't want to say cared about them being in a casket match. It was a Halloweenish gimmick match just to be a Halloweenish gimmick match.
Well, spin the wheel, make the deal. It could have been anything. It just happened to. You know what I mean? When you look at the logic.
Oh yeah, because they definitely don't work the fucking wheel.
It was hilarious because literally Josh said before, because Josh came over and watched it with me before the show came, was like, I'd really like to see a casket match tonight. And he's not on Twitter or anything, didn't see any of it. And I was like, well, motherfucker.
Weapons.
Like, I get the logic behind casket match Halloween and stuff. But realistically, when you're pushing that stuff, like especially the Halloween Havoc, the whole connection of spin the wheel, make the deal, you're kind of looking at it that way more than looking at it, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Weapons Wild match, Cora Jade versus Roxanne Perez, 12 minutes, 25 seconds. Ken gave us 2 3/4. Sleazy,
Right.
you're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
Okay. Let's start with the two of these girls in general. They're what, under 25 right now? They're like
Cora
22?
Jade's 21, Roxanne Perez
20.
holy
turns
shit.
21.
Fuck, do I gotta wait
next
one
month?
more year to take them both out drinking?
No, you gotta
You
wait a
don't
couple
have
of
to.
weeks.
Oh,
Roxy turns 21 in a matter of weeks.
Well,
Call her
doesn't
by
have
her
to-
real name.
yeah, but Ryan, it's 19 in Canada, isn't it?
It is 19 in Canada. Well, 16 in Newfoundland, but nobody really cares about drinking pot.
Well, that's kind of
Sounds like the South.
That
Problematic.
explains a lot.
But holy shit, the two are super talented, and while they're still relatively green, they're still relatively new to the business. These two are the future of the women's division in WWE. I'm going to say that right now. People are going to look back at this match specifically and go, yeah, they were still green at this point. But there are a lot of cool little spots here and there. I did like the platform spot onto the tables. My problem with it is that they must have been running close to time when they did it because they didn't sell it long enough. They really didn't. Here's the thing. I'm going to say 2 stars, but I'm going to give it the huge qualifier of if they had gotten a couple extra minutes, maybe some things would have been a little bit more well laid out.
You grading it with a curve?
No, I'm just saying that it's I feel bad giving it 2 stars because I know how talented they are, but in the same breath, it wasn't that good of a match. So it hurts me to give it that much. I think that it was a great way to finish the feud. I hope that, and here's the other thing. Some of the weapons were kind of weird. But whatever. I think that if they were going to blow off the feud this way, I guess it's the best way to do it with a gimmick match like this. But it was lackluster in that respect. And I feel bad and I don't want to say anymore.
You underrated piece of shit. Like,
There we go.
3 stars. I liked it. Like, there's nothing really special about it, but I liked it. I was entertained by it. Right kid died and he blew off a feud. So, and Ryan's smoking.
No, look, half of Ryan.
Well, you having a stroke? Okay, cool. But
Don't make you fun to me.
yeah, it was 3 star. It was a 3-star match. Okay, Ryan, go ahead. Wait,
He's too busy coughing.
Never mind. Chip, go ahead.
I was just laughing. That's all. Listen, that match is deadly. I feel like all your numbers are super low, and anybody that didn't know who the 2 of those girls were before they watched the match kind of just come into NXT. Like, you do have some fans like that. Should have been really impressed by two girls, 25 years old or younger, even less, that go out there on a premium live event, pay-per-view, big special show, and given the time to do what they did through the whole story. And I think it was a lot better than people wanted to give credit for. And I think Sleazy was right. That is the future of the women's division coming up. WWE. That's two of the people you watch.
Chip.
I'm gonna go 2.5. It's Cora Jade talked her a lot of the way through the match. You could hear it, you could see it. But I could see them being the future. The platform to table spot was really awkward to me. My highlight of that match was the pop rocks on the chairs. That was executed perfectly. But it was like she went to hug her. It's like she didn't want to fall, but she says, "Here, I'll hold you as we go back." And that's what it looked like to me. And that kind of threw that whole spot off to me. So 2.5 stars.
Are we forgetting that Roxanne Perez this time last year was the ROH Women's Champion? Like,
I'm not forgetting it.
She's for being someone super young. She's super talented in the ring.
Well, and like I agree, they are the future. It's just that match didn't. It's them being the future to me.
All right, a Wambulance match.
Wow.
Julius Creed versus Damon Kemp. 14 minutes 9 seconds. Kenton gave this 3 stars. It was physical as fuck. This is what I think like an ambulance match probably should have been, because most ambulance matches, they start in the ring, they do wrestling moves, and then they go outside, fight a little bit, go back to the ring, do wrestling moves, and then try to put each other in a stretcher. They just beat the shit out of each other from the bell. And it was great. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was physical. Right kid died. Yeah.
Had they not have put stipulation on it that Brutus would have to leave NXT, Damon Kemp should have won that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when they put that on, it's shitty to say, "Oh, I knew it was going." You just don't really know anymore, especially in NXT. You lose the loser leaves town match, you probably get called up to the main roster. So, like, even whether you lose it or you don't lose it, it doesn't really guarantee anymore who's going to win, who's going to lose. Because part of my mind was like, "Oh, Brutus goes, well, they're just going to haul the bars up the main roster. They're a solid tag team." So it kind of made me think about it for a second that they would do it, but the whole time I was like, "No way, Julius is winning this match."
I rewatched that match today, and it was a lot better than I watched it Saturday night. So I'll go 3 stars on this. It was hard hitting. I like hard hitting. A lot of foreign objects used, but man, his hand must have got broken like 4 times. Although there was a disclaimer saying everyone was healthy after NXT Takeover or NXT Halloween Havoc. I'm sorry, but the payoff I thought was going to be Damon as well. But when that stipulation went in, you knew. I don't think there's any room right up there right now for them, but they'll be called up shortly.
All right, Sleazy.
I don't think there's any room up there for them because both tag titles are sitting on one team right now. As soon as that no longer is the case, they should be called up. That being said, the match itself was kind of, once again, one of those gimmick matches because it's an Extreme Rules style pay-per-view, which I love. The concept of an ambulance match. You're trying to kill your opponent basically and throw them in the back of an ambulance so they're, hot shotted into the hospital, right? And most of the time, Fat Man's exactly right. It's not usually, they do some moves and, oh yeah, I guess we better work our way out to the ambulance and do our spots there now. This was great. I love this. And one of the things that you hear a lot about right now, and specifically criticism of this show specifically, is that there's not a lot of quote unquote star power on the show. And I think that is a huge, disservice to everyone on the show, because Julius Creed is a star. Kemp is a star. Roxy is a star, and even Ron and Ilya are stars, and Wesley is a star. You take a look at all the people on this show, they are stars. They're getting there. Just because they're not household names because they didn't come from the indies doesn't make them less stars. And just because they're not on Raw every week doesn't also make them stars either. They're working their way through. They're working their way up through NXT. That's how this works. So anyway, back to the match. It was a great match, 3.5 stars. The powerbomb on the stretcher spot was fucking
Gross fuck.
NXT Women's Championship, Mandy Rose defends against Alba Fire. The actual match was 7 minutes and 7 seconds, but they did like a cinematic thing earlier in the show, which took out Toxic Attraction, but then they ended up finding their way back anyway. So Ryan's going to give me shit when I say that. It was dumb and pointless.
Boy.
It was filler. Didn't need to happen.
This worse is this match was filler on the pay-per-view, even if you don't do the cinematic shit, because like they didn't spend long enough, personally to me, to build up Alba Fire to beat Mandy Rose, because Mandy Rose is on an incredible fucking run right now, and like I really feel like unless the Money in the Bank style of a shock win comes, like somebody needs to be built, because once you beat Mandy Rose, you're just taking like one of the queens of NXT, we'll call it, for title reign off her person. And it can't. I feel like it's a waste of time if it's just some fluky little thing that they got to build somebody properly, and not just they're here and then we'll forget about them. Oh, welcome back.
Okay. As for the match, it was the worst match of the night.
Yeah.
1 3/4. I don't know. It wasn't great. Like the match was meh. I mean, Right Kid died, but like I said earlier, the cinematic was just pointless and filler. They didn't need it to be done. And this match, and it didn't prove anything. It just was there, and yeah, it was what it was.
It was a way to get Mandy on the card.
Pretty much.
Really? I mean, you needed her
But they
there.
could have did that tonight on TV, though. They got 2 title matches on TV tonight. That could have been tonight.
I agree with that. I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm just saying that right now, as it stands, they wanted to get the top women's title on the show. They did. It didn't matter what the person, the opponent was. They wanted to do something creative with some sort of cinematic thing. I understand why they did it. I don't like it. I thought it was dumb, but some people like that stuff. So I'm not going to shit on it too much. I just didn't like it, and I don't think it was well done personally. I gave this a 1.5 stars. So I think here's the reality is that Mandy Rose is the last one that's, she's going to hold that title until Roxanne beats her for it. Am I right here? I mean, that's what this is going for, I think. And we've got the finish to the previous feud with Roxanne, and I could see this happening as soon as the next takeover.
Deadline. December 10th.
Yeah.
So from the acting standpoint, the cinematic part started out really well. And in fact, I was shocked at how well it started out, but it just declined after that. And I was already disinterested in this match as it was. And then when Toxic Attraction showed back up at the arena, I'm like, what? I'm a fat man in this. I'm like, what was the point of all that? What was the point of taking them out for having them come back? I know in movies you kill the villain more than once. I understand, but it just made no sense in that match. So I'm giving it a 1 star.
Sleazy's favorite type of match, triple threat match for the NXT Championship. Braun Breaker defends against Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough. 23 minutes and 47 seconds. Canton gave this 4 stars, and I'll start with Chip.
It was good. I think like I said, my match of the night is the first, and this is second. You started out with the heater, you ended out with the heater. It was a good match. I gave it 3 3/4. Right guy died, but you got Ilya and JD or Jordan Devlin McDonough are going to be there for a while. And when Braun goes up to the main roster, those two are going to have a lengthy feud for that belt.
Ryan.
So, the only thing I didn't like about this match was the Ron Kid dog. JD Donahue should have won this match. I can't think anything bad. Like, I enjoyed the flow of it. I enjoyed the build all of this, how they put everybody in it, how they made it a triple threat match by using Steiner match in a promo. Like, everything about this was really good to me. I just thought that Donahue should have won. And nothing against Braun Breaker, but, like, let him have 3 or 4 NXT title runs. He's going to be your NXT guy for next year or two as he works everything out. So why not?
Sleazy.
I hated this. Shocker.
Surprise, surprise.
Right?
Hell's the free.
Right. Ryan's right. The wrong kid died, but I don't think it was. I think Ilya should have won this, actually, not JD. I actually take huge exception to the fact that A, he took the pin, and B, he only took it after a spear. That's my problem with it. This is a man that beat the invincible Walter at the height of Walter's forever and a day NXT UK run. But he dies to a single spear in this match? Really? 3 stars.
Chip and I have the same rating, 3 3/4. It started slow. It picked up. It has some really great near falls. Of course, Sleazy doesn't like triple threat matches. Honestly, I thought JD McDonough was going to take the pin, and then Ilya and Braun were going to have a singles match later on. But interesting, they went the other route. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Someone's watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Okay, so
No, Superstore, not Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It was just the NBC sound at the end of the show.
Both are great shows.
Yeah, Superstore is pretty good. Overall thoughts on the show? It was a good show.
It was.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
It was a good show let down by a bad main
really
event.
good wrestling we're getting in 2022 from all the big feds this year.
Well,
Did
what
you
you
talk
say?
about the hate? I said the ridiculous amount of good wrestling we're getting this year. Did you talk about the heyday of wrestling? Like the boom,
Well-
the and stuff like that. So many feds are putting up so many good shows this year, and this is another prime example.
And it's I guess the whole fact that now, I mean, it's never going to officially be over, but now places like Japan has finally opened up to where they can allow international people over into their country to watch shows. So that's kind of the fans being back in the stadiums are what's pushing these shows to be really good in having the performers doing as well as they are. So that's my view on it. For show wise, like I said, I have to go back and rewatch it again to see where you all are ranking this. But to me, I expected a lot more, especially when Shawn Michaels came out and said it was going to be NXT SummerSlam, because to me that was not a SummerSlam-esque show at all. So that's what Shawn Michaels said it was going to be. It was going to be their equivalent to SummerSlam
in October.
I mean, I can still go to the beach right now.
Well, yeah, you could.
Well, you're gonna be stepping on broken glass and dead bodies, but that's okay.
No, that's the north part of Atlantic City.
South part's nice. Where Ocean City and near Ocean City is very nice.
Well, we won't talk about why that's the case. The show was good, but it kind of lacked in some of the matches. Specifically, I'll stand tall on my shitty main event here, but the shitty main event's still 3-star match. But yeah, it could have been better, but I don't think it was because of huge star power or anything like that. I think it was because the matches really weren't booked as well as I would have hoped. But Ryan's absolutely right. There's so many great shows out there. This is still not a bad show despite all that.
Take a break.
Well, on that note, then, do you got a teaser for after the break here? Anything cool?
No. Fuck all y'all.
Jesus. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. So Fat Man chose not to give us a fucking teaser because he's, the Fat Man.
Batman.
Shocker.
So let's start off with the most. It's not the most bullshitty thing. This is according to Wade Keller.
Oh, God. Here we go.
As I talked about, Triple H is more likely to bring Punk back than Vince McMahon would have been.
Every bit.
Not less. That doesn't mean Triple H was a fan of CM Punk, but Triple H is in a different position than Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon never believed in CM Punk, and therefore, in the way he pushed Punk, never really fully got behind him. Triple H, he thinks Punk's personality-wise may be more trouble than he's worth, which is 100% true, has shown a history of recognizing wrestlers who are over with today's fans that he himself might not have predicted would be over. Someone who's currently in WWE and is within the sphere of influence of Triple H decisions making and Triple H decision making would be a hard no if me asking this person today, a hard no on endorsing the return of CM Punk, even if it would help business. I won't, and it pretty much goes on. Because there's talks and rumors of AEW buying up Punk's contract, if there's a no-compete clause in there or not. What are your guys' thoughts on Punk potentially coming back to WWE?
I think it's a foregone conclusion. Ever since that doctor left. Personally, and that was me. Ever since that doctor left, I knew that WWE was getting Punk.
And there's always this thing that wrestlers say never. And Punk has said it before, and other wrestlers have, and the other wrestlers have come back. As much as I'm not a fan of this run that Punk had in AEW, and if everything was staged and the whole pipe bomb situation was just a remnants about the pipe bomb they did in WWE at the time, never say never. He'll be back eventually somehow.
Sleazy.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Thank you.
This is fucking bonkers that people believe that he's going to be back in WWE. It's like it would have been one thing if before all of this happened,
Okay.
if the whole thing that they all got in the scuffle about didn't happen, maybe. CM Punk is got nuclear heat on him. There is no way anybody would bring him into a wrestling company right now. No chance. Zero chance of that happening. It's like bringing Joey Ryan into a company right now. Maybe even worse somehow. Maybe in 2 to 3 years, he might show up on Impact because they threw so much fucking money at him that he might come back. There's no chance Triple H will bring him back. And I don't think that's, and to say that Triple H won't bring him back doesn't discount the fact that Punk would want to come back to WWE on the other side either. If what the rumors are true, he's going to get bought out of his contract, which I don't know if you're going to say that or not. If that's the case, he doesn't have to fucking work again, because I guarantee you that fucking contract fucking sweet.
Yes, that was going to be my point, is he doesn't have to work the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Because according to, I have sources, and this is actually, I'm not saying this to be an asshole, I really do, is his contract, I don't know the specific number, is massive. He makes millions upon millions upon millions a year.
So to have him get bought out like that, that's going to be
his
that.
So his contract buyout will be north of 50 million. That's all I got to say.
Oh yeah, like Punk gets bought out, that's gonna ruin AEW. The dumbest thing they could have done.
Well, they don't have a choice at this matter. They're going to pay him whether he.
I guarantee you, he has a guaranteed contract too.
Yeah.
So they're paying him no matter what. So
I bet you those contracts look a lot more like professional football player contracts than they do with wrestling contracts.
I mean, yeah, it could be a pay or play contract also. Like, you either pay me or play me, like, which is essentially a guaranteed contract. Like,
yeah.
So it's north of 50 million if they buy it out, and that's Punk doesn't have to work the rest of his life. Why would he even go? Why would he deal with the headaches?
Just
Plus,
to give you an idea of, people don't understand what that actually means. $50 million. If you put that in just a high yield savings account, getting 3% off of that is more money than all of us put together make in a year. Ridiculous.
And I'm also saying that, what was I going to say? He doesn't have to deal with that. And also, he's kind of injury prone now. Hurt his foot, and then 2 matches in. Well, we all know he tore his bicep in the scuffle backstage. He didn't do it during the match. And then he tore his bicep. So he's in his, mid to late 40s, and he's injury prone. And
he ain't Sting.
So there's no way. And then there's also reports that him working a part-time schedule, which obvious, you don't want him to work full-time schedule.
Well, wrap your mind around that for a second now. The comparison of he ain't Sting, and Sting's still out there doing all this crazy shit. CM Punk's fucking injury prone.
Right?
It built different back then.
It's tougher, man.
Yeah. Okay. According to
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. A Canadian internet slow again.
it was brought to the attention that many of the extras used by AEW who were close to Thunder Rosa have not been booked recently. There's no information as to why that decision was used. Rosa is the AEW Women's Champion and is currently out due to the injury. Tony Storm told Brief's report about her interim title reign. She said, I guess my first thing would to be beat Thunder Rosa and stop this intern nonsense. That kind of what's bothering me. I think that's been bothering me a lot, blah, blah, blah. Meltzer's discussed women's divisions of Rosa less, saying there's a lot of division among many of the women and Rosa, basically the ones who made public comments that insinuated her injury wasn't that bad, or for those who privately felt due to the timing of her saying she's injured were serious and she needed time off after being told that she was dropping the title of Tony Storm. I call bullshit.
I'd say fuck Thunder Rosa. Just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, no, but I call bullshit on the her friends are blackballed from getting work and blah blah blah.
They have too many people. Of course, people are going to get shafted.
Sleazy.
I have nothing to say to that. What the fuck ridiculous bullshit is this?
Dave Meltzer.
There you go. Done. That's all I have.
I don't remember if we talked about it last week. Did we talk about Ace Steel getting released by AEW?
We talked about it in chat. We didn't talk about it.
Okay, Ace Steel got released from AEW.
Let me show you my stock face.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's just be fair. Cabana going back to TV. Okay.
Yes.
I would like that.
So Carl Anderson is the never openweight champion.
Yeah.
Love this.
He's supposed to be defending the title at Battle Autumn, which is November 5th. Sleaze and I talked about this last week. Apparently, the NJPW president expects Anderson to still make the show.
But you did see Carl's tweet earlier this week, right?
Yeah, he released a video saying he's not showing up.
Yep.
But then after the video, the NJPW president says he still expects him to show up.
Well, I mean, they are going to be on the same side of the globe.
It's a 6-hour time difference and a 13-hour flight. There's no way.
Oh, okay.
There's zero chance he's going to do that.
I mean, WWE's paying him more, so of course he's going to go with WWE. I think that they're just going to suspend him until Tokyo Dome and then have him fight Hikuleo at Wrestle Kingdom.
That's what Sleazy said.
That's definitely
Shawn Michaels did an interview after Halloween Havoc and says that maybe it wasn't after Halloween Havoc. Maybe it was before it. But he did an interview saying that there are plans to do an NXT Mexico and an NXT Japan in 2023.
The Japan thing, I guarantee you, was something that was out for a long, long time. Because that's something that Triple H wanted.
They've been talking about that for a while.
That's not new. NXT Japan's not a...
The only thing new is them going forward with the plan.
Elimination Chamber will be Saturday, February 18th in Montreal. That was rumored to be another Saudi show, but apparently it's not.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah.
The Canucks get something.
Canada.
You could almost make that.
Yeah.
It's only 5 hours from me.
Right? You just got to get through the border.
I can. I just hide in Ryan's belly.
Hi-oh.
Sasha Banks, Sasha, did some training with Kalisto in Barcelona. So she's staying in ring shape.
Well, that's good news, I guess.
Staying in shape for me.
Maybe we'll get that Kyrie or maybe Mayu. I don't even know.
Wade Keller's speculates that MJF has secretly signed an extension with AEW.
No shit, Sherlock.
Right?
Fucking God, fucking what the fuck kind of goddamn these fucking reporters, fucking journalists.
Well, yeah. I mean, they
This
wouldn't
will
be.
work, man. I'm not sure if you actually said he's not working with a cut. No fucking you goddamn fucking idiots.
Man, calm down, please. What are you gonna be so angry for?
It's just it pisses me off. You know what? No. What made news this week? Shit like Dave Meltzer's office getting clean. Fuck you guys, you know?
Apparently, AEW management has spoken with Athena and Jody Threat about their stiff match that they had on, what is it, Elevation or Dark or one of those shows.
Oh, when they beat the fuck out of them jobbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what?
You didn't see this?
No, I saw it. I saw the match. What the fuck are they talking about?
Well, Athena pretty much ragdolling or pretty much being the fuck out of a wrestler. You didn't see that?
I watched the match. That didn't happen.
Then you watched the wrong match.
No, I absolutely watched the match because people talked about the match. I went back and watched the match, and maybe one was maybe a little snug.
Okay, but you're wrong.
No, I watched the match. They're fucking
it was
idiots.
like it was like an NWA 1980s.
No, it wasn't. It absolutely
jobber
wasn't.
fest where they just beat the fuck out of their jobbers in like 3 minutes.
So
She beat the fuck out of her. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it, but you're wrong.
bunch of people got worked over it, and it looks like you are on that list
A bunch. How did I get worked over something that I physically saw?
because you think it was fucking real.
I'm not saying it wasn't real. I'm just saying she beat the fuck out of her to make it look real. Say she did go over their job. And that Tony Khan's an idiot if he's talking to him about that stiff match. But yet
It's not a stiff match.
Tell him to
Well,
watch
bring-
his JPW and
Well,
start him.
bringing over fucking MJPW wrestlers to fucking beat the fuck out of his wrestlers. That was my point. You wouldn't let me fucking finish. It wasn't a stiff match. She beat the fuck out of her, but she didn't beat the fuck out of her, is what I was trying to get to.
Sure.
Yeah, roll your eyes.
You can't even see my eyes being rolled, and yet you knew it was happening.
Yeah. Because you didn't watch the match because you don't watch the
I
product.
absolutely watched the match.
Willow Nightingale is signed with AEW and PCO is re-signed with Impact.
Good.
PCO's the only one left off the box. Everybody else is gone. Well, Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie's still there. Sleazy,
Yes.
WWE Network is going to be on Disney Plus in the Philippines.
Yes, I've already told my wife's family, and they're getting a Disney Plus subscription. It's only $6 there a month.
Wow.
Or $20 a year
In American dollars.
in American dollars.
Yes.
$20 a year,
Yes.
which is
It's-
still not that much. I mean, it's what, 10,000 pesos.
I thought it was like 1,500 or something.
It's
what I
50
read.
pesos to $1.
Is what I read. I thought I read it as like it was like 1,500 a year. No, maybe you're right. It was like $900 a month or something in theirs.
900 pesos would be about $4.50.
Something like that.
$4.50. That
And
sounds
we lost
right. Yeah, I'm glad.
That doesn't surprise me. WWE is to do a premium live event in the UK every year.
Cool.
Heard about that.
Apparently, they want to bring back King of the Ring.
That would make sense for it to be over there.
No, not as that event, but just to
Oh.
bring back King of the Ring. And then
I thought Triple H was talking about getting rid of these gimmick pay-per-views,
well, the Hell in the Cell and stuff like that. I mean,
but you still have an elimination chamber. I don't know. I just saw something I read now.
Yeah, we reported on it last week about the gimmick pay-per-views, but I mean, maybe they're waiting a year. I don't know.
Maybe they're going to do it 2024.
Also, you mentioned earlier NXT's hosting a premium live event in December. It might be called Deadline, but that's just a weird name.
So get the Super Art of Honor. Wow. Super Card of Honor, 3 p.m. 4 p.m. is supposed to be Deadline. And then that night, there's a UFC fight, all December 10th.
Jesus Christ.
Dell already sent me the list of how much shit we got going on that day.
Well, Super Card of Honor, it won't be Super Card of Honor, it'll be Final Battle.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Battle
will be at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in Texas, where it's at. And then what I heard was Deadline was going to be at night at 8 o'clock.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
And after
so they're not. UFC that's why Final Battle's on at 4 here in the East. So they're not competing. So that's why they did that. One last news, and I think it's fucking bullshit. So WWE wanted Billy Gunn to be at the DX25 year anniversary. They were in negotiations with AEW and Tony Khan. Apparently, all AEW wanted was for WWE to mention that Billy Gunn was an AEW superstar. And apparently, WWE said no to that.
I mean,
well, you don't see Carl going around saying he's an JPW superstar.
I think it's different in that respect.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it is because they have more respect for JPW than they do AEW.
Well, also the fact is Carl Anderson is now signed with WWE.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And to be honest, it wasn't apparently no monetary thing. It was just mention AEW. Be like AEW star Billy Gunn. And that's all you had to say. And WWE's like, no.
They could have made a great joke about, hey, something about,
yeah,
weren't you working at the other company?
Yeah. And
they could have made
by the way,
here's
the thing. What are they going to do if they don't mention it?
So,
there's no for what?
Yeah, no, I'm saying it was just a joke.
But so they could have said, yeah, we could have done that, and then just made
we
joke.
Forgot. No soul, basically.
And what are they going to do?
Yeah, there's nothing
they can do. So.
Well, and also the fact that they made light of AEW in the beginning of that episode, arguing in backstage.
No fighting.
Yeah, that was kind of, that might have been a little.
Well, I don't think they gave AEW the script for Raw, but I'm just saying, one, if that's it, I can see WWE doing that, agreeing to do that because it's not that big of a deal. I mean, AEW mentions WWE all the fucking time on their show.
Right.
And again, what are they going to do if they just forgot?
Ran out of time.
I mean, again, they're clever enough to put into a joke. Or they could have just had Billy Gunn appear on screen, like Rey Mysterio did at Triple Mania.
Right.
Like, you didn't have to so I call bullshit on that. And
Paper toss. I got a couple of quick things. Number one, the finals of the IWGP Women's Championship has been set. It's Kyrie versus Mayu, which
it's going to be so good.
Everyone and their brother who saw that bracket knew that's how it's going to end. That's going to happen on November 20th.
Yes.
I'll have an article out, I want to say within the next week or so, talking about the history of IWGP and women's wrestling and Joshi wrestling in general. So look out for that. Probably sometime next week. Also, if you guys are listening to this via your normal, wonderful podcast places, I guess you'd say. I do want to say that Friday night I will be at the 44th Street Rumble, the New Japan show in New York. If you see me out there, please say hi.
Yeah, he's going to be the guy that has the word sleazy as a face.
Right. If you are seeing this live on Twitch, I'll be there on Friday. Come say hi. It's a very tiny venue. It's the Palladium Theater in Times Square.
Where is that exactly? I know Times Square pretty well.
44th Street and 8th.
Oh,
it's where the Sony Theater used to be.
Yeah, that is small.
It's like 250 people for an actual.
That's smaller than Hammerstein.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's fucking tiny. They booked 2 nights there too. They booked the night before and then this show. So I'm excited to go there. It'll be a long night for me, but I'll really enjoy it.
Also, if you are following Fight TV, will have a package for both nights, Thursday and Friday, for $24.99.
They're not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but absolutely go check it out. Next week, hopefully, we can shoehorn a quick review in of the live show. Anything else, Fat Man?
Weren't you on a podcast?
Oh, yes. Thank you. So I was on another wonderful podcast. Basically, I'll put the liner notes in. It was a really great way to, just talk about just all sorts of different wonderful things, including poker, wrestling. We talked a little bit about security too. It was a great show. I'll put all that stuff in the liner notes. Great group of guys, as they always would like to say. But yeah. So Chip, put yourself over.
Okay. Before I do that, I want to let you all know that for those of you that do follow NJPW, that Royal Quest 2, both nights 1 and 2 have been released. They were released last weekend on the New Japan World. Really good matches. I have yet to finish night 2. I'll probably do that tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have a review of both nights up by this weekend. You can find me and Fat Man on the Best Darn Sports Show Period 2 on Twitch and Facebook Live. We'll be live tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I'm going to say. We're going over some crazy happenings in the NFL. World Series is happening. NBA and NHL are just starting. So we are back into our favorite times of the year for being sports fans, where all the sports that we follow are in progress. You can follow me on Twitter at TheSportsGuru728.
Cool. Ryan can go fuck himself because he left earlier. But he's on Ryan Buttgotch on TikTok. And TikTok.
OnlyFans.
Freudian slips are Freudian slips. r/the wrestling show on Reddit. I'm at TW Sleazy.
TWS Fat Man.
And we are at Sleazy Fat Man on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Please go on over there and give us a like. Videos you can find at twitch.tv/SleazyFatMan, youtube.com/SleazyFatMan, and premium videos on OnlyFans/The Wrestling Show. You can find all sorts of content at thewrestlingshow.com, including articles, merch, and a ton of other cool stuff. Check out Fat Man's weekly articles. They're really good. Legitimately, they're really nice. They're funny. They're really enjoyable. Check them out. You can get this podcast every Saturday morning, wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other different venues. Don't hesitate to rate us on your favorite platform. It really does help us out. So with that, with thanks to Chip, with fuck you to Ryan, and as always, for Sleazy,
for the Fat Man,
this is The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Tony Khan. Fuck Kenny Omega. A hot dog's not a sandwich. A sub is not a sandwich. And I don't have anything funny to say at the end here like I normally do. So.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. mama clipping your gun. I'm the pain of the game, the blood shedding your name. When there's nothing to gain, all the world goes sad.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.